It's another day, and another Hollywood writer is sharing his disdain for the people he is supposed to be entertaining. And maybe disdain is too weak of a word. Hate might be the more appropriate term. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com this morning. And Tonight Show writer Chase Mitchell shared his disdain for moviegoers in the wake of the Walt Disney Company's most recent film, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, bombing at the box office. He reacted to a report from Variety declaring that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes only earned $3.4 million on Friday, down 50% from its $6.8 million last Friday. He declared, "I think it's time to accept that a large part of the movie-going public sucks crap." There you go. That is his disdain. And we'll get to who he actually thinks that is, right? We'll get to that. He then attempted to justify his attack on moviegoers by sharing screenshots of the Rotten Tomato scores for Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, The Fall Guy, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Babes. He then mocked, "But movies suck now." He's trying to imply that because they have, I guess, average to above average tomato meter scores, and I guess Furiosa has uh, a very positive audience score. I mean, those 78s and 75s, those are not very good. 86 for Fall Guy is kind of average. But obviously, Furiosa having the top score, he's trying to imply that that means that these films are like really good. Everyone loves them, etc., etc. However, it doesn't take into effect that most people didn't go to see them because they're all box office bombs. Ex-user Fake Angel of tried to inform him of that. He says movies can be highly rated. That doesn't mean people went to see them. Last year was a horrible year for movies because most sucked. Mitchell responded, "Last year was one of the best years for film in the history of the medium." I wonder what films he thought were fantastic last year. I I I wonder. I wonder which movies he thought were so good. Because there wasn't a lot of good films last year. The one highlight for me was Godzilla minus one. That film was phenomenal. But aside from that, nothing else really piqued my interest. I know a lot of people liked Oppenheimer. Wasn't anything I was really interested in. Haven't seen it. Obviously, Barbie made a ton of money, but it was a highly controversial film. But I promised we would get to who he thinks are crap, who he really thinks. And of course, it's predictable. So predictable. These people hate you. So we've got this guy here. Post this. "Stop with the female leads in action movies. Stop shoving the message down moviegoers' throats. Stop the preaching and left wing propaganda. Make movies entertaining again and tone down the CGI. Get Biden out of office so prices can come down." And Mitchell responds, "Oh, hey, I found the guy who sucks crap." So if you believe any of these things, that is who he's referring to. He hates you. These Hollywood writers absolutely hate you. And they're so mad. They're so mad at you. They hate you so much. They're upset that you are not being a pay slave to them. A pay pig, a pay slave. They want you to fund their degenerate lifestyles by going to see their movies, watching their TV shows, and they absolutely hate you. And they are infuriated that people are not doing this anymore. They are rejecting this stuff. They are saying no. They are closing their wallets. They are staying home. They are not going to see these movies. They have no interest in seeing them. And they're sick and tired of Hollywood's agenda from people like Chase Mitchell. They're sick and tired of being humiliated by these Hollywood movies that try to lecture and preach to them rather than being entertaining, telling a good story, trying to elevate people. But this is who these people are. They hate you and they are mad, big mad, that you are not being a pay slave for them. And the proof is in the pudding here. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has only grossed 126.6 million at the domestic box office and another 172 million internationally for a worldwide gross of 298.6 million. The film reportedly has an estimated production budget of 160 million. That means the film needs to gross at least 400 million to break even. The film has been in theaters for 3 weekends and has seen its domestic box office grosses decline by 56% in its second weekend and 47% in its third weekend. The movie clocked in 58.4 million in its opening weekend. It fell to 25.4 million in its second weekend. It then fell to 13.4 million in its third weekend. Given that trajectory, it is unlikely that the movie will break even. Box office analyst OMB Reviews notes the film's box office performance still has the movie in the red by over $100 million currently, and he predicts it will likely end up losing around 75 million. This is what he said. Based on how it's doing in its holds week to week, I think probably north of 75 million is likely. Maybe in a best case scenario, it loses 50 million. Either way, though, this is not a huge hit. This is not the film that people were saying, oh man, this movie is making so much money. When you look at the actual data, when you break it down by the individual film and where it's actually getting released, that is actually not the case. So people are rejecting this stuff. They have no interest in what Hollywood is putting together. They're done with the sequels, the requels, the prequels. They're done with the lectures. They're done with it all. And people like Chase Mitchell hate you for it. But that's not going to stop us. We are going to continue to reject this stuff because it is wrong, and we should reject it. And we are going to celebrate the rejection of this ideology. We are not going to be pay slaves. We're not going to be pay pigs. Absolutely not. Those are my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.